Hey, welcome back to Lifect. Do you ever find yourself stumbling to find the right words or saying something that doesn't quite sound correct? Don't worry, we've got you covered. In this video, we'll discuss some common phrases that smart people avoid using, along with some alternative suggestions that will make you sound like the intelligent individual that you are. So, if you want to improve your communication skills and impress everyone around you, make sure to stay till the end. And of course, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more useful tips and tricks. Number 11. Yeah, totally. Let's talk about a phrase that might be preventing you from being a great conversationalist. We have all heard someone respond with, yeah, totally. But have you ever considered what that phrase actually means? Yeah, totally, it turns out, doesn't add much to the conversation at all. It's not even the worst offender on our list, but it's certainly not a useful term in general. So what should you say instead? Let the other person know if you agree with what they're saying. To demonstrate that you're actually participating in the conversation, use phrases like, I agree, or that's a great point. And if you're not interested in the topic or don't have anything to contribute, it's totally acceptable to politely exit or end the conversation. Just keep in mind phrases like, yeah, totally, can give the impression that you don't actually care or you want the conversation to end. So let's try to be more engaged with one another and mindful in our conversations. Number 10. Can I have your attention, please? Have you ever heard someone say, can I have your attention, please? This phrase can be a real turnoff and it can make you appear desperate for said attention. If you have something valuable to say, don't beg for it. You deserve to have someone's full attention without having to ask for it. It's crucial not to undersell yourself by using this sort of language. Instead, ask for someone's attention politely and then get straight to the point. Remember that the way you speak and present yourself can make all the difference. Don't let a simple phrase like this hold you back from achieving your goals. Number 9. Actually. Okay, so let's talk about the word actually. You know that word people use to prove you wrong and sound extremely intelligent? Yeah, that one. Listen, to start, it's not cool to cut someone off with an actually. If you do disagree with somebody, say so. You don't have to act like a fancy professor correcting everybody's ignorance. We all have different points of view, and that is totally fine. Sure, there are times when actually as a word is required, but most of the time it's just a filler word to make us sound better than others for some reason. Trust us, without the overuse of actually, your conversations will be much more enjoyable. Number 8. I'm kind of busy right now. This phrase, I'm kind of busy right now, can actually be detrimental to your interpersonal relationships. Even if you're not meaning to be, phrases like this can come across as passive-aggressive or rude. So what should you say instead? Simply state that you're busy and we'll call the person back later. It really is that simple. There's no need to include unnecessary attitude or snark by adding more than needs to be said. Remember that clear and concise communication with one another is essential for the development of any sort of strong and healthy relationship. Number 7, I'm just saying. Have you ever met someone who can't help but add a cheeky little phrase into their comments? I'm just saying. It may appear harmless at first, but let's be honest. The more they say it, the less respect you have for them, right? Like when they make a joke about someone's weight or religion and then try to play it off as just an innocent observation. But why do people feel the need to add this smart aleck-like phrase? Honestly, it's kind of just passive-aggressive and unnecessary. So the next time you actually hear someone say, I'm just saying, feel free to roll your eyes and just keep on moving. After all, actions do speak louder than words, or snarky little catchphrases, for example. Number 6. Let's just circle back to this. Do you remember when Jen Psaki, the former White House press secretary, would say that she'd circle back to answering questions? Well, it turns out it wasn't exactly a smart move. As a matter of fact, using the phrase circle back is just a way of dodging a question and giving a meaningless answer. It's a way to sound both competent and official without actually having to provide any substance whatsoever. The truth is that circling back is just a fancy way of saying you don't know the answer. And let's be real, when are you actually going to circle back? Probably never. So why do people use this phrase in the first place? It's because they think it makes them sound smart and sophisticated, and again, both competent and official. But here's the thing, trying too hard to sound intelligent can actually have the opposite effect. Instead of focusing on sounding smart, let's focus on communicating effectively. It's important to avoid using jargon and phrases like circling back that can make us sound both silly and actually incompetent. So next time you're faced with a question that you don't know the answer to, don't circle back to it. Just be honest and say you'll find out about the answer you don't know. Number 5, you just wouldn't understand. Have you ever been told by somebody that you wouldn't understand something? It's not only a passive-aggressive move, but it's also actually counterproductive. You're moving backwards. Think about it. Why even bring something up in the first place if you know someone won't understand it to begin with? Instead, make an effort to respond in a clear and succinct manner, or simply just steer clear of the subject. If you want to keep a good relationship with someone, it's important to avoid using the phrase, "you wouldn't understand." Number 4, can you squeeze me in? Have you ever found yourself pleading to be squeezed in for a meeting or on someone else's schedule, for example? Although asking might seem like a nice gesture, it actually just shows a lack of confidence. You, as a person, are not something that can just be thrown into a trunk or stacked like a book on a shelf. You should be respected as a person with legitimate needs and desires. So in essence, if you're asking to be squeezed in, you're expressing a lack of self-awareness. And that's just not true. You deserve to be treated with respect and thought. Don't undervalue your needs or value the next time you need to schedule a crucial appointment or meeting. Make a point of speaking up and being heard. Number 3, whatever you say. Communication is an essential part of our daily lives. While you might think that saying whatever you say is just a harmless way to show disinterest or disagreement, it's actually quite the opposite. Instead of resorting to negative phrases like whatever you say, try to be direct and honest instead. It's always better to communicate in both a constructive and respectful manner. Furthermore, when we use phrases like whatever you say, we're sending a message that we're not actually interested in really engaging further into this conversation. This is where the phrase actually just contradicts itself. It's supposed to show neutrality, but it ends up coming off as hostile. So let's all make an effort to avoid saying whatever you say and communicate with honesty and respect every time. After all, effective communication is key to building healthy relationships and living fulfilling lives. Number 2, good vibes only. Have you ever seen this cliche phrase, good vibes only, on like an online dating profile or a t-shirt, something similar? It's time to shake things up and add some spice to your personality. Okay, look, we all enjoy positive energy, but why would you limit yourself to just that? By insisting on good vibes only, you're missing out on the possibility of some bad or strange vibes that could spice up your life and literally teach you something. Plus, let's be honest. When you wear this good vibes only label, you're actually starting to blend in. Step up your game and show off your unique personality. Don't get us wrong. We're not saying you need to embrace negativity or be a Debbie Downer, but by embracing a wider range of vibes, you'll come across as more mature, more rational, and probably more interesting to most people. We all know that our good vibes would not even feel good unless we knew what bad vibes actually felt like as well. So let's ditch this basic vibe idea and mix things up a bit, shall we? And the last one on our list, number 1, no offense. So let's talk about this phrase, no offense. It's a very small phrase with huge impact, but it's not always in a good way. When you say no offense, it's as if a warning signal goes off in someone else's head, alerting them that something potentially hurtful is about to be said. But here's the thing, adding no offense before or after a statement doesn't make it any less offensive. In fact, it can make you appear insincere and just cowardly. It's as if you're trying to have your cake and eat it too, saying something hurtful while also avoiding the consequences of it. Stand by your words and be willing to defend them if necessary. That's not to say you should go around insulting people, but if you have a genuine opinion or concern, then you should express it respectfully and honestly. Using no offense when you're not even saying anything offensive can make you appear overly concerned about upsetting someone. It's as if you're skirting the issue, afraid to say what you actually mean. It can even make the situation more awkward or uncomfortable in some cases. So instead of saying no offense, let us speak our minds to one another with confidence and kindness. After all, what is the point of even talking if we can't communicate honestly and respectfully with one another? That is all for today's video, Lifect fans. We hope you have found our advice on which phrases to avoid and which ones to use instead helpful. Remember that language is a very powerful tool that, when used effectively, can leave a lasting impression on others. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that'll help you level up your communication skills. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.